She once mocked me as the quiet widow, assuming I'd stay powerless, but now she pays me $450 every single month. My name is Sandra Mitchell. I'm 52 years old and live at Lake Norman, North Carolina. 3 years ago, my husband passed, leaving me a lake cabin on 1.6 acres along with a target on my back. The cabin has a private parking area with 8 spots total, and that lot connects to the only walkway leading down to the community dock. For years, my husband let neighbors park there free, just being neighborly. Then Diane Caldwell became HOA president, and 2 months after my husband's funeral, she knocked on my door with no condolences, just a letter demanding I keep the parking open for community use. She claimed the board voted unanimously and told me I had no choice, looking at me like I was already defeated. What Diane didn't know is that I spent 12 years as a paralegal at a Charlotte law firm, reading contracts for breakfast. I pulled my husband's deed from 2012 and found the notarized survey confirming every square inch belongs to me with no easement and no shared access agreement. Diane made one critical mistake when she assumed grief made me weak. I hired a contractor the next morning, and concrete barriers went up at every entrance while smart locks and security cameras were installed for a total cost of $3,200. I sent Diane a certified letter stating my property rights with survey copies attached, giving residents 72 hours to remove vehicles. The deadline passed and barriers activated. Diane called screaming while I recorded every word, and when she threatened lawyers, I welcomed them. Her attorney reviewed my documents and went silent. But then neighbors started complaining because their 2-minute shortcut became a 15-minute detour. Diane blasted me on Facebook, calling me selfish, vindictive, and cruel, so I responded publicly with my husband's deed, the survey, and 37 emails documenting her harassment. Public opinion flipped overnight. 2 weeks later, her lawyer delivered the bad news. She had zero legal standing, my harassment documentation could trigger a countersuit, and 6 homeowners had already signed a petition to remove her as HOA president. Her Airbnb bookings dropped 40% because guests complained about parking and the longer route. Suddenly, Diane showed up at my door, not demanding, but politely asking if we could talk because her summer rental season was collapsing and she needed those parking spots to survive. I smiled and handed her my terms. Now, I lease those 8 spots for $450 monthly with quarterly payment up front. And if she misses the deadline by 72 hours, the barriers go up immediately with a $200 reinstatement fee. The woman who bullied a widow now writes me a check every 90 days. Ever been underestimated and proved them wrong? Comment your story below.